It's warmer in this studio.
And the newsroom is
The
frigid.
newsroom is freezing.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on, guys?
Yeah.
I know we got to keep this equipment cool, but Nick is running cold.
Yeah, now I'm cold.
Oh, man, my nose is cold.
Yep.
No, my head's not cold.
How's the main studio feel, Majestic?
It's always cold.
Yeah,
You guys think it's cold out in the newsroom
it's
right
always
now.
cold.
It is so cold.
It's freezing, and I get the lights and everything,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
whenever they like shut off or turn down the AC in the studio, I'm like, oh, this is great. This is great. But I understand. We got lights and all that stuff.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be a butcher shop.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It fluctuates so much. It's never quite steady, but you're never hot in there. I'll tell you that. Would you rather be hot or cold?
I would rather say.
Complicated question.
I guess because you could always put on.
I guess cold because you
Jackets.
could put layers on.
Yeah.
But I don't like it.
I don't like either. I
But-
think especially like having to be on air too, you don't want to be hot. Like
No,
that is
no.
just oh.
But you've been out in the field before. When I say field, reporting out on scene or live somewhere on location.
Yeah.
Would you rather? That's the same question. Would you rather be hot or cold?
I don't know.
I'd rather be hot because cold is like I'm trying to get out whatever I'm trying to
Right.
say,
Yeah,
and it sounds like I'm
yeah.
nervous, but I'm really just
Yeah.
trembling because it's
Yeah,
just.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
Hot is
Might be
kinda
a little sweaty and gross, but oh well.
Yeah.
If you're out there when it's hot.
Yeah. So I guess. Falls
I don't think anyone ever really wins. You just got to go with the flow.
Nobody wins.
Got to go with the flow, people.
I'm just going to complain. I made a great suggestion earlier.
What was
Just
that?
Blame Majestic.
No.
We don't do that. Exactly.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Because
I'm
if it was
sorry.
up to me, then you really wouldn't like the
See,
forecast.
this
I know
is-
you're new to mornings. You don't hear all the time. We don't blame Majestic.
I was about to. Oh, that's not a segment. That's not a thing.
No.
Blame Majestic.
Goodness. I thought we were friends. He's coming in hot this morning.
No. Okay. See, this is why they don't have me fill in for Jane at all.
Goodness. Sweet Jane would say, well, here's Majestic.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining up with
Yes.
us today. Meanwhile,
Nick just complains.
man.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
That's
fine.
me. That's Nick.
he's saying what people are probably thinking at home. Okay, well, should we get into it?
Let's
Sure.
get into it.
Let's get
Majestic
into it.
Storm, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, story today is that we actually have had a few light snow flurries out there. Now, not everyone has seen it. We're not talking about significant snow or anything like that, but of course I was doing traffic this morning on WCNC, and a lot of our area roadways actually had a light dusting of snow. North of Charlotte, talking about areas like Kannapolis, out towards Hickory, up towards Boone and Blowing Rock, really just a trace of snow. This is what we have right now on our satellite and radar. Of course, all the white, that's indicating the cloud coverage. Today it's going to be a cloudy and cold day overall. But hey, at least the rain yesterday, I mean, that really helped to melt a lot of the snow. I saw sidewalks, driveways, just main roads really continue to improve a lot. So even though yesterday was not a really pretty day, at least it is starting to give us some relief from the snow, because I know many of you are over that. I've noticed in my backyard it's becoming so muddy and messy. The dogs go outside and then their paws are all, muddy because of how much that snow has been melting. Here's our satellite and radars. We just zoom it in a little bit more. In the Charlotte and Mecklenburg area, not really seeing anything, but heading to the northwest, that light, or the white and the light blue right there, that's indicating just some light snow flurries still lingering. So along I-40, Statesville, Hickory, that's where we've kind of been seeing it all morning long. As far as it being impactful, not really, because temperatures yesterday, they were mild. I mean, it definitely wasn't warm, but it was warm enough to not make for huge problems when the precipitation touches the ground today. Still watch for slick and icy spots. I mean, never put down your guard when you're still driving in wintry conditions. Let's get a look at these current temperatures. Right around freezing here in Charlotte, 33 degrees, 27 up in Boone and Jefferson. So if you're watching from one of our mountain counties where there is still a little bit of light snow flurries, of course, if you're traveling up in higher elevations, be careful with those slick and icy spots. There's been a little bit of fog as well, and when we have such cold temperatures and fog, we have something called freezing fog, where it actually freezes onto surfaces. So maybe the ground just looks wet, but if you encounter fog and temperatures are below freezing, just keep in mind that it actually could be freezing fog. Once we're looking at our wind chill values, remember this is what it feels like on your skin. Right around mid-20s, up towards Statesville, 25 out towards Shelby, feeling like it's 25 degrees even here in Charlotte. So So a good morning for a hot cup of coffee, kind of a gloomy day, and honestly, not too impressed with our afternoon highs either, as temperatures continue to rise really only into the upper 30s, low 40s. And remember, our average high temperature for this time of the year, we should be into really about 54 degrees, low to mid 50s. That would be nice, wouldn't it? The good news is we do have some better weather ahead. I want to really hone into our Futurecast because, yeah, we have flurries this morning, but we're watching this system that could bring some accumulating snow up in the mountains as we're heading into tonight and into tomorrow. So here's about 10 o'clock this morning. We're overcast. Could we see a few flurries around Charlotte? I think we could. Again, no big significance with it. As we head throughout the afternoon, there's 4 o'clock. Could see a little sunshine at times, but today's just going to be overall a pretty cold and cloudy start to the day with perhaps a nice little mix of sunshine and clouds late in the day. 8 o'clock tonight after sunset, temperatures begin to drop, still dry at this point, and then heading into Friday morning, I think really today compared to tomorrow, there is more concern tomorrow when it comes to patches of black ice and when it comes to slick and icy spots, because temperatures will be below freezing. Much cooler air, but still not a big blast of Arctic air where it's bringing extreme concerns. Now, once we tap into Friday afternoon, 1 o'clock, getting close to the weekend, look at all that dark blue. That's up in the mountains, and that is snow. We do not expect snow in Charlotte. This is going to be very localized to our mountain counties. Here's 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday, where that snow is still continuing. So if you're watching from one of our mountain counties, I suspect Friday morning you'll be fine. If you're traveling somewhere, I'd probably do it sooner rather than later, because by Friday afternoon, I'm talking about early afternoon, that snow will start to come down. In Charlotte tomorrow, temperatures will be mild, rising back into the 50s. Could we see a couple of stray showers? Sure, but we're really not looking at even scattered rain, and definitely not widespread. 7 o'clock Friday night, if you have any plans, mild again for most of us, but look at this. This snow is still ongoing for the mountains. So starting around lunchtime, continuing throughout the entire afternoon, and even just after dinner time. By Saturday morning, here's 6 o'clock. I'm really looking forward to Saturday because it's going to be the nicest day that we've had in quite some time. Chilly in the morning, clear skies and sunshine though, one of those really pretty Saturday mornings where it's just gorgeous outside, a little cool and a little crispness in the air, and then into the afternoon, temperatures will begin to rise. I think temperatures on Saturday should climb back into the 50s eventually. Now, with this system that's bringing in some mountain snowfall, again tonight, again on Friday afternoon, it's also going to start to really increase those winds. You can see later in the evening, here's 6 o'clock on Friday. Look at those winds up in the mountains. I mean, it's not out of the question for a wind advisory to be issued, so those winds could even gust above 40 miles an hour at times. So again, if you have something outside that might blow away or get damaged, make sure it's all tucked away. But this wind is the last thing that you want when you have snow that's on the ground or falling, and especially when it's already really cold, because it's going to make for that drifting and blowing snow, limiting visibility down, and honestly it's going to make it feel so chilly. Here's early Saturday morning. That's when we could see some of the strongest winds, and around Charlotte I think a little breezy, so we will also have a wind chill, but truly the strongest winds will be up in the mountains. So we have snow, we have wind, and very cold feel-like temperatures up in the mountains. It's one of those forecasts where we really have to spend a different amount of time on the mountain forecast compared to what we're seeing in Charlotte, because the forecasts are quite extremely different. Wind chills. This is going to be 4 o'clock on our Friday. Remember, the wind chills, it's a combination of our air temperature plus adding in the wind on top of it. And remember, that wind really starts to intensify in the mountains on Saturday. Once it does so, waking up on Saturday, maybe you were thinking you're going to pack up the family and go skiing on Saturday. Could be fun because of that fresh powder, but look at how cold it's going to feel. Negative 15 in Boone, going to feel very cold up there in Jefferson as well, so sub-zero feel-like temperatures. If you are going to be out and about on Saturday, It's going to be one of those forecasts where in the mountains you don't want any exposed skin, because we're talking about frostbite, we're talking about hypothermia if you're out there for an extended amount of time because of how strong those winds will be. And of course, make sure you're just preparing your family and yourself for any kids who want to be outside playing out in the snow, or any pets. Overall high temperatures today, it's going to be cold. 39 degrees is all we're getting to here in Charlotte, 39 in Lancaster, and then up in the mountains 32 degrees there in Boone. A lot more clouds than sunshine today, and then overnight temperatures tonight will drop below freezing. So we're back into the 20s, and this is why we're a little concerned about slick and icy spots tomorrow. Obviously, we've had a couple of days now with moisture on the ground. As far as new rain falling yesterday, we've had some mist and drizzle this morning as well, and some flurries out there. So any precipitation, any moisture out on the roads that don't actually, it doesn't evaporate, that's where we could see some trouble spots tomorrow morning. And then temperatures, though, will rise back into the low 50s tomorrow for our Friday, 52 degrees for our high there. Saturday, a little bit chillier, but clear sunny sky is going to be a beautiful day on Saturday. And then Sunday, much of the same. However, I suspect a few more clouds. Here's our Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. Still looking at lots of different things. Today is going to be the coldest day out of the next 7 days, so we'll get through today. Again, could we see a few random snow flurries around the Charlotte area? I think we could. Will they have impacts? I absolutely don't think so. And then tonight, dropping down below freezing. It's going to be a cold one. Some slick spots tomorrow morning, but at least we are starting out the weekend with actually a really beautiful Friday. Saturday, even better if you like the sunshine. Not quite as warm, but still nice. Super Bowl Sunday, I would say mild, 45 degrees for our high, so a little bit cooler there. If you want to do anything before the game, shouldn't have any issues. And then the next week, the big story will be a nice warm up on the way. Going from 39 degrees today for our high to a high of 63 on Tuesday, 64 on Wednesday. Feeling a little bit more like spring, and that's going to be nice. But I do have my eyes on next week's forecast because it seems like there's another system that's building towards our Valentine's weekend. And it doesn't seem like it would be a winter storm, but possibly could bring some rain and some thunderstorm activity. So too far out to give you, of course, the details, but we're always looking forward.
All right, Majestic. 60 degrees.
It's going to be nice. Mid-60s on Wednesday. I need to get my car washed. My car is
my car is disgusting.
really, I can't even hardly see, like the backup camera, and it's like beeping at me. I can't see anything.
Man.